Dear God, I'm an idiot. I reset the computer and knew we were going to have to put the audio on, and I still did not do it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. But now we are back. Now you can hear me. I was just sitting here essentially crying that I don't have Sam Laporta and blah, blah, blah. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to overcome not having Sam Laporta. We'll see it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. But it's just such a brutal spot to get to the fantasy football playoffs. And then the one guy that you need to move on in those underdog tournaments, you do not have. And we are fighting for dear life at this point. But hopefully the Dallas Goedert teams that I have everywhere are able to make some noise. Obviously, just an absolute disaster drafting Dallas Goedert at a higher price than Sam Laporta was at in drafts and thinking I was smart while doing so. But let's dive into some injury updates. Then we'll get to some questions. First thing is going over to the Packers. Aaron Jones is playing. A.J. Dillon is not playing. This is the one scenario in which Aaron Jones is 100% a viable play in your fantasy football league. If you have Aaron Jones, I am completely fine with you going out there and starting him. And honestly, you may need to start him if you have no Dillon. He's going to see everything in this backfield. Jamal Williams is expected to play. This doesn't change too much here. Hollywood Brown, Michael Wilson are both expected to play in Week 15 as well. So it's a little bit better if you were going to go through and start Kyler Murray just chasing rushing upside against the Niners. Now, Jalen Hurts is downgraded to questionable for Monday. This is horrible. This news literally just broke from Shefty about a few minutes ago. Let me see if I can find an exact tweet from Adam Schefter, but this is not good. As I pull this up, if you have not done so already, please go down there, hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Today is day 234 in a row of live streaming every single day. And Sunday mornings are by far and away the most important for us. If you're ever going to hit that like button, please make sure you do it now. But Adam Schefter tweets, Eagles are downgrading quarterback Jalen Hurts to questionable for Monday night's game in Seattle after his sickness worsened overnight. Hurts is still harboring hopes of playing Monday night and is traveling to Seattle separately from the team so as to try to not get anyone else sick. And honestly, that sounds like we're not having Jalen Hurts. I mean, obviously, I'm an idiot. Y'all have stuck with me for 15 weeks by now. Y'all understand that. So I don't want to sit here and act like I can read this and know any more about it than anybody else here. So let me just get this on the screen to make sure that y'all can see it and make the best decision for your own teams. But this is just a kick in the nuts. Are you kidding me? First, the Sam Laporta game. Now this. So yeah, if you were looking at like Jalen Hurts, if you somehow you had like Jalen Hurts and say Sam Howell on the same team, Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy on the same team, you may want to switch over to Howell. You may want to switch over to Purdy. Let me see how many of these underdog tournament teams I have Jalen Hurts in. Dear God. Honestly, not many of my Jalen Hurts teams made it to the playoffs. That's really weird. I assumed I'd have way more Jalen Hurts teams in the playoffs. Okay. Not the worst thing in the world. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and let's dive into some of these questions. And as I pull these up, let me remind you, if you wanted to check out any of these underdog pick'ems, you can find that link in the live chat, in the description, in the comment section. Promo code FLOCK, get you a 100% deposit match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, a Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than, half a total yard going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And my favorite pick'em is in that same game. Keaton Mitchell for fewer than 9.5 rushing attempts. Keaton Mitchell has never had 10 rushing attempts in his entire NFL career. He's splitting the backfield 3 ways there. Not super excited about going through and playing Mitchell. But my goal with our first question says 12-team PPR for the flex. Reed, Amari, or Antonio Gibson. Need upside. It's the playoffs. Let's go. Hell yes, my friend. We're going to go ahead. We're going to play Antonio Gibson. Honestly, I'm not going to think about this one too much. I mean, if you have Antonio Gibson in here, at the end of the day, this is a running back that's going to be playing on all 3 downs. He's playing in a high-scoring game environment. He also, at the same time, is going to be involved as a receiver. So I don't really have any hesitation with Antonio Gibson. Now, the big ticket says full BBR for the flex. Start Gibson or Chuba Hubbard. I'm going to go Antonio Gibson for those same reasons. Tough decision. We also have Cook and Kyron at running back. And then the defense, are we going to go with the Falcons or Saints? Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Probably going to go ahead and take the Falcons, where, I mean, Bryce Young has just been horrendous all season. Now, Riggy says PBR start 1, Hopkins, Rice, Flowers, and then the Dallas or Titans defense. We're going to go with the Titans defense now that you have no Tank Dell, no Nico Collins, no CJ Stroud, most importantly. And then between Hopkins, Rice, Flowers, I actually kind of want to pivot over to Flowers or Rice. Now that you have no CJ Stroud, a little bit less excited about the game environment and what you may have for DeAndre Hopkins if they were to get out there into a complete shootout. So I'm probably going to go Rashee Rice, if I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. Now let's move this over to. Now, Hogan, always happy to see it, says Gibson, Jones, or Spears. Well, my man, I know you barely clawed your way into the playoffs, so wishing you the best of luck. We are going to go ahead and probably take Aaron Jones. Now that you have no A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones good to go, I feel much more confident in saying that we want to go through and play Jones. Now, Stevan says Tua, Flacco, or Levis at quarterback. If Tyreek plays, I'm going to go Tua. If Tyreek doesn't, then I probably pivot to Levis. Jack's Guy Juice says Ridley or Zeke, full BBR format. I'm going to go with Zeke. I actually don't mind Ridley at all, considering the fact that you have no Kirk here. My only hesitation is it is going to be a tough spot in a matchup against the Ravens defense. Now, Anthony says in a super flex league, do we start Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Dotson in the flex? We're going to go CEH relatively easily. Freddie says 10-team PBR, need 2 flexes between Mitchell, Walker, London, Wilson, and Reed. Thank you, Basic Good Luck Vlog. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Kenneth Walker and Garrett Wilson. Not too interested in going through and playing Keaton Mitchell on a 3-man running back by committee. And then with London, I mean, the game environment should just be a very low-scoring contest here overall. Dylan says Zay Jones, Brandon Cooks, Noah Brown. We need 1. I mean, here I think you can make an argument for a couple different guys. Zay Jones had 14 targets last week. It's just a tough matchup going up against the Ravens. I really don't know what direction we should go in here. Probably going to go ahead and just take... I'm probably going Zay Jones, to be honest with you. I don't love the matchup against the Ravens, but he had 14 targets last week. Peyton says, thanks for all the hard work. No, thank you for being a member of the flock. Need up with the flex for today. We're going to go Godwin, Foreman, or Shaheed. I'm going to go Godwin. Maybe make the argument for Shaheed if you have no Chris Olave. And then Lamar, CMC, Kyron, Waddle, Ayuk, and Kittle. Yeah, I'm going to go Godwin over those guys. I mean, not over all those guys, but for our last remaining flex. Max says, Tank Dell's injury killed me. Are we going to go likely Odell, McKinnon, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the flex? I don't know. McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire are splitting literally 50-50. I'd probably play Odell with no injuries. He's had a considerable amount of target volume, but it's tough. Now, Jeremy says full PPR start 2 flex and a super flex between Agent, Hall, and Levis. We're for sure going to go Levis in the super flex. And then for our 2 flexes, we're going to go Breece Hall and Ezekiel Elliott. In my mind, there's no reason to risk Devon Achane not fully healthy here. I'll go fresh as London, Jason, Odell, or Zay Jones. I will go Drake London. Now, Jacob says, we have Hurts. Do we ride or pick up a waiver wire option? I would for sure pick up Mariota, I believe is the backup quarterback in Philadelphia, just in case Jalen Hurts does not go. But, I mean, it really does come down to who you have on the waiver wire. I mean, if like Sam Howell's sitting out there on the waiver wire, I'd say let's go ahead and let's pick up Sam Howell. But if it's like Flacco, then I'd rather roll the dice on Jalen Hurts, and if he doesn't play, then pivot over to Mariota, worst case scenario. Now, Eric says Garrett Wilson or Rashee Rice. I'm going to go with Wilson. And then Dolphins or Saints defense. Probably going to go ahead and take the Dolphins defense here. I mean, obviously, the Saints defense are in a great spot going up against Tommy DeVito, but if you're looking at implied team totals, yet again, the New York Jets sitting with one of the lowest implied team totals in the NFL. Now, Michael says, thank you for the hardest working guy in fantasy. No, thank you, my man. Aaron Jones with no Dillon, Amari, or Singletary in half PPR format. I'm going to go with Aaron Jones relatively easily. I mean, I wasn't excited about playing Aaron Jones previously. I thought they were going to be a little conservative and bringing him back in. But if you have no A.J. Dillon, I think Aaron Jones is someone that you honestly just kind of have to go out there and play. Garrett says, have a lot of injuries. Baker or Flacco today? I'm going to go Baker. And then Foreman or Clyde? I'm going to go Clyde. I feel like Flacco's projections are low. I mean, right now, if you're looking at what he's projected for on Underdog, I understand he's been good over the past few weeks, but you have to understand, I mean, ultimately, Joe Flacco hasn't had a full season of starting at the quarterback position since 2017. There's a reason for that, right? Is that 229.5 passing yards for his higher lower? I don't know. I don't want to sit here and act like Flacco's someone that's super exciting. I think Flacco could easily have a comeback down to earth spot. Now, Neil says, Njoku or Schultz? Thanks, Mason. Thank you, my friend. I am going to go ahead. I will take David Njoku over Dalton Schultz. If Stroud was playing, we'd probably go Schultz with no Nico and with no Tank Dell. Chris says, who do we start? Olave, Amari, or Odell in a full PPR format? I'm going to go ahead and play Olave if he's good to go. If he's not, we'll go Amari. Samuel says, Mahomes or Stafford? We have these guys ranked back-to-back, and honestly, I think it's up to you. I'm not going to fault you going one way or another. Personally, I am Mahomes ranked just slightly ahead of him, one spot. Then Debo or Saquon? Ooh, tough spot here. I'm probably going to go ahead and take Saquon, take the 3-down running back. But, I mean, obviously, Debo Samuel just looks so damn good at this point. Actually, no, I can't do it. Debo's going up against Arizona. We got to go Debo. We got to go Debo in a full PPR. Luke says, choose 2 PBR, London, Reed, Ridley, Odell, and Ingram. I'm going to go with London and Ridley, my friend. London and Ridley. Now, Peyton says, full PBR to flex, Keaton Mitchell or Gus Edwards. I would go Mitchell over Edwards at this point, but I'm not excited about either. They're in a 3-man committee. Now, David says, start 2, 1 receiver and 1 flex. London, Walker, Odell, JSN, or Ridley. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play Walker at the flex spot and then probably Ridley at wide receiver. I mean, I don't like the matchup for Ridley, but I like the volume that you're having now that you have no Kirk in this offense. We have Diggs, Bijan, and Montgomery. I was relying pretty heavily on Montgomery in a single league. And I mean, obviously, it's not like he was horrible yesterday, but could have been a lot better. But Pluto says full PPR to start CEH or Charbonnet this week. I will go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire with no Pacheco. Kim McKillis says, wait for Hurts or start Kyler or pick up Levis. I probably would just go ahead and roll out Kyler. I mean, if you wanted to plan on Hurts and if he's not good to go, pick up Mariota as a backup play, I think you can do that. So, yeah. I mean, I'm planning on going Kyler over Levis for sure. Under no circumstance am I going to play Levis here. But if you wanted to roll the dice on Hurts and just pick up Mariota as the backup play, I'm assuming Mariota's the backup. Can someone confirm for that? Trevor says, Mace Windu, I'm desperate. Save me, master. Need one for the flex, 12-team at PBR. Hollywood, Douglas, Dotson, Charbonnet, Spears. Need upside. We had a Herbert, oh my gosh, my friend. I feel like Nick Mullins actually got you there. I mean, for what could have happened, Nick Mullins had a good game for you. This is just absolutely brutal. I'm sorry. And I really hope we can get past this week. And selfishly, I really hope as well that JT is back next week because I need him. But honestly, I don't think it's going to be super hard to make this call. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Hollywood Brown here. I'm going to go Hollywood. He's good to go. Yes, it's a horrendous matchup. But it kind of is what it is. I mean, maybe he does just end up coming away with some cheap target volume. Random Gamer says, if Olave's out, do we play Rice or Hopkins? I'm going to go Rice now that you have no CJ Stroud. And that if you have no Stroud, I think the Titans can just run the ball a little bit more confidently in the second half. Mark James says, happy BR, Aaron Jones or Gibson. Thanks, I appreciate you, my friend. If A.J. Dillon would have been good to go, I would have said Antonio Gibson. I'm excited about both these running backs now. Previously wasn't excited about Aaron Jones. But now I think you kind of have to be with no A.J. Dillon and the facts that Jones good to go. So I'm going to go Aaron Jones here, but I think Gibson's going to crush. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I'm low on Gibson. Clint, happy to see you, my friend. Says we have Dak and Ertz in 3 of my leagues. With the weather and illness report, should we start Purdy? It's either Purdy or Howell, both one quarterback formats. I am still going to go Dak Prescott over Purdy. However, if we're looking at Jalen Hurts versus Purdy, I will be going Brock Purdy over Jalen Hurts at this point. I mean, I'll show this again. You know by now, my friend, that I'm an idiot. So it's not like I can read this and know exactly what's going on, but Eagles are downgrading quarterback Jalen Hurts questionable for Monday night's game. What is scary for me is the fact that they're having to specify, yeah, he's not traveling with the team. I mean, he's going with them, but he's taking his own flight. Like, I don't know. That makes it sound in my mind like he may not play. So yeah, I would plan on Purdy over Jalen Hurts this week. Kevin says full BBR pick 1, London, Wilson, Waddle. I'm going to go with Waddle I'm going to go Waddle regardless. Maybe you go Wilson if Tyreek plays. In question 2, pick 1 between Fields, Lawrence, and Kyler. We're going to go Fields given the fact that the Cleveland Browns defense isn't as tough of a matchup as it was earlier in the season. Now, Mark says, what's up, Mason? Need a receiver and a flex between Diggs, DJ Moore, Kupp, Henry. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. Non-PPR format, I think Henry's going to be the flex. Diggs will be the receiver. Full BBR format, I think you go Diggs and Kupp. However, if you are really worried about the weather in that Buffalo game, then maybe you pivot off of Diggs to DJ Moore. But, I mean, I said it last week when we were talking about Baltimore and Los Angeles. I'll reiterate again. I think people way overreact when there's a little bit of rain. Like, I'm typically not that worried. Meme Steeler says Spears or Mitchell. Henry's my running back 1 plus Love or Tua. I'm going to go Tua if Tyreek plays, Love if Tyreek does not. And then I'm going to be going with Keaton Mitchell over Tajee Spears because I think this is a Derrick Henry game against the Texans now that you have no CJ Stroud. Now, Jim Bin says PBR, thanks, Mace. 1, Zeke, Mitchell, or McKinnon. I'm going to go with Zeke. 2, Taysom or Kincaid. I'm going to be going with Kincaid. And 3, the KC or New Orleans defense. I'm going to be going with the Chiefs defense, my friend. Now, Timeout Sports, always happy to see it. Says Mason, the best, super flex, happy BR. We need 1, Hopkins, Ridley. I'm going to be going with Ridley now that you have no Nico Collins. So I'm going to be moving down Hopkins just a bit. 1, Taysom, McBride, Waller. We're going to be going McBride. Quarterback between Trevor, Carr. I'm going to go Trevor despite the tough matchup. And then for the flex, Connor, Jones, Ford, Clyde Brzelaire. We're going to go Jones with no A.J. Dillon. Thank you as always. Appreciate the show. No, thank you so much for always stopping by the live streams. Appreciate you, my friend. Now, Michael says, full BBR, first round of the playoffs, Howell or Fields? I'm going to go out. I will take Justin Fields in a 4-point passing touchdown format. I fumbled not starting off this week. I'm worried about Fields versus the Browns defense. Browns defense isn't as difficult as they were earlier in the season. And the thing is with Fields, you're never starting him expecting that, oh, the Bears offense is going to be great here. You're starting him because you think he can have some cheap rushing upside. right? At least in my mind. Now, Garrett says full BBR, HN if healthy, or Antonio Gibson. If HN's going to go, I mean, based on the fact that he hasn't been cleared yet, I think he's probably going to be limited. So while HN's in a much better offense, while HN's a much better player, I'd probably go ahead and take Gibson. Because Gibson's going to see a 3-down workload. I know it's crazy. Kevin says 2 more questions. HN or Hall? We're going to go Hall for the same reasons. Olave Flowers. Worried about Olave not at 100% even if he does play. Completely understandable. And for that reason, if you wanted to go Flowers over Olave, I'm not going to fault you at all, especially with no Mark Andrews. But I'm going to go Hall over HN because I'm worried about HN not being 100%. Now, Austin says Walker or Ridley. Full BBR format. Maybe it's going to be a little bit tough here. It's a bad matchup for Ridley. I think Walker's in a little bit of a better spot if Hurts doesn't play because they can run the ball more in the second half, or at least we'd assume. Non-PBR league, I think you go Walker, and it's not close. So full PBR format, I think you can go Ridley. Non-PBR format, I think you can go Walker. Out PBR, honestly, up to you. Now, Bubba's Eat says full PBR for the flex. Clyde Slayer, Walker, much love. Much love, my friend. I'm going to be taking Kenneth Walker here. Rob says played against Higgins and Ty. Oh my gosh, I'd be so pissed. If I went up against Higgins and Chandler, that is brutal, my friend. We need 5 total guys between Brown, Evans, DK, Pollard, Etienne, Mostert, Brees. So we need to bench 2 players here. I think we're going to be benching DK, and I think we're going to be benching Brees. Be playing the other guys in the best offenses, chasing touchdown upside. And I think Mostert is just a must-start option at this point with the HN injury. Now, Sports says crazy to start Taysom in the flex over Devonta Smith. Now with Hurts news and Olave out. Is Chris Olave officially out? Let me go ahead and pull this up. Yeah, Olave is out, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just confirm one more time here. Yeah, Chris Olave won't play week 15. Let me see how many playoff leagues I have Chris Olave in. God dang it. I have a lot of Olave. I have Olave in 14%. Doesn't look like I have him in my super high stakes leagues, which is somewhat good news. Gosh dang. Just brutal. But I would still say I'm going to go Devonta Smith over Taysom, despite you having no Olave. If it was a non-PPR format, then it could be a little bit closer, because there you're just chasing touchdown upside. Now, Dave says 2 for the flex, Puka, Jones, HN. I'm for sure going Puka over these guys. Jones, HN will be close. I mean, obviously, HN's been so much better so far this season. But if you're looking at Jones, now you have no A.J. Dillon. I mean, it's such a good spot for him. Make sure you are playing Puka, and then between the running backs, it's up to you. Now, Mark says, PBR, 1 receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex. We have Cook, Mostert, Hall, Ayuk, and Puka. Our wide receiver and flex will be Ayuk and Puka in a full PBR format. And our running back will be Raheem Mostert with the banged up HN, even if HN does play. Decline Gaming says Walker or Clyde Slayer. I am going to go Kenneth Walker, my friend. Jay Stoicy says PBR for the flex. Allen, Fields, Hall, HN, Zeke, Connor, Jones, JT, Hill, Amon-Ra, Chase, Ingram, McBride. We're about Hill, HN, and AJ. Completely understand where you're coming from. I mean, I'm starting Allen at quarterback. Running back, I'm going to be starting Hall and Zeke. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to go Hall and Jones. Receiver, I'm going to be going with Tyreek Amon-Ra if Tyreek does play. I'm assuming you already played Amon-Ra. Then for the flex, I'm assuming you already played Chase. We're going to go McBride over Evan Ingram. I mean, it's just tough with Achane, and that if you look at him, like, he can be active and he can play, but I don't know. Like, it's something that it's hard to be super confident with, if that makes sense. Let me go ahead and see if we have any more news on Achane. No, we don't. Now, Camo Killa says, Smith, Odell, or Deonta Foreman, full BBR. Thank you. I'm going to go with Smith easily, even if Hurts is questionable. James says, Hopkins, Amari, or Jaden Reed. I'm going to be going with Hopkins. Stafford or Dak. I'm going to go Dak. Ayuk, Ridley, Puka. I'm going to be going with Puka or Ayuk. Honestly, up to you there. Just don't play Ridley. Rams or Titans. I'm going to be going with the Titans now that you have no Nico and no CJ Stroud, my friend. Zoltan says, hey, Mason, cheers from Hungary. Cheers, my friend. Who would you prefer week 16-17, Bijan or Gibbs? It's obviously tough to say this after what we just had from Gibbs yesterday. I still probably stand by Bijan. But I am very biased when I say that, and honestly, probably shouldn't listen to me, my friend. Now, Chuck says, need a flex PBR, Tyreek, DeMario, or Singletary. We're going to go Tyreek, then Singletary if Tyreek doesn't play. Canelo says, how high would you rank Waddle if Tyreek misses? I'd rank him as a low-end wide receiver 1 because it's still a tough matchup against the Jets. Chase says, start 1, 2, and 1. Swift, Hall, Mostert, Evans, and Diggs. Running back, we're going to be going with Mostert and Hall. Wide receiver and flex, we're going to be going Evans and Diggs. We're going to bench Swift with the Hurts news. Darian says, happy BR, DJ Moore, Hopkins. Thanks, man. Thank you. I will go with DJ Moore. Gogu says DJ Moore or Flowers. We'll go DJ Moore. Treg says Taysom or Ford. I'm going to be going with Jerome Ford in that flex spot. I mean, Taysom definitely more appealing when you have no Michael Thomas and you have no Olave here, though. Now, Cody says, pick 1, London, Douglas, Zay Jones, Singletary, and Shaheed. I'm going to go ahead. I will take Drake London, obviously coming off a great week last week, but not necessarily the only reason why we are taking him. The other guys here are just not compelling in the slightest. I guess maybe make an argument that Shaheed is the only guy left standing, but I would also say, okay, well, Drake London's kind of the only guy in Atlanta. I think London's a way better talent than Shaheed, if that makes sense. Now, Lou says, a full BBR start 1, Stafford or Fields. I'm going to go with Stafford. And then flex Amari, Odell, or Tajee. I will flex Amari there, my friend. Quam says, Hurts owner, full BBR. Should we roll the dice with Achane or stick with Spears in the flex? I'd go Achane over Spears. Oh, but we are in a great spot where we started Higgins, Brown, and the Raiders defense. Congrats on that, my friend. But yeah, we are going to be going with Achane because both running backs are going to be committees anyway. So might as well go with the guy in a better offense and with more talent. I mean, just more talent overall. Now, MCF says Titans or Browns. I'm going to be going with the Titans defense. And then Fields or Purdy. We have DJ Moore. I'm going to go ahead. I will take Purdy, even if you have DJ Moore. I mean, Brock Purdy right now is playing better quarterback. I'm not going to make an argument, oh, he's the more talented quarterback than anybody else. Of course, I'm not making that argument. But he is playing better quarterback than literally anybody else. His matchup going up against Arizona Cardinals. His offense projects out to be the best offense in the NFL this week. It's going to be hard for me not to just roll with Purdy every single week under these circumstances. No Instagram, long time no see, says Mason, need a crazy game. Are we going to go Moore or Reed? We will go with Moore, even if Jaden Reed has no Christian Watson in his offense. Now, Ron, happy to see us. Says Mason, my friend, non-BBR. We're going to go Reed or Olave, wide receiver 2. We're going to be going with Reed because we have no other option, my friend. And the Gibson or CH for the flex, we're going to go Gibson with confidence. Missed out on the Higgins, started Javonte going up against Laporta, so we are shooting for the highest ceiling possible. I'm rooting for you, my friend. Obviously, at this point, it is hard to see things turning around if we went up against Laporta and we started Javonte. I don't think you can kick yourself for not playing Higgins, though. I mean, I didn't play Higgins, really, in any of my shallow leagues. Now, Kiro says, ooh, I'm sorry, we got to actually refresh to find this. As I do this, please, if you have not done so already, go down there, hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we have live streamed every single day at this point for 234 days in a row. Have not missed a single day since April. And Sunday mornings are by far and away the most important for us. If you're ever going to go down there and hit that like button, please make sure you do it now. And I'm actually going to have to pull this up on the other screen, so it's going to take a little bit of an extra time. So as I do that, I want to remind you as well, if you have not checked out any of those pick'ems over on Underdog Fantasy, too late to do the Saturday ones. Hopefully you followed us when we took Amon-Ra St. Brown for more than 71.5 receiving yards yesterday. But you can check out all these Sunday ones, promo code FLOCK, 100% a positive match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And on top of that, promo code FLOCK is going to get you a Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than half a total yard. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, you can check out my favorite pick'em of the week, which will be Keaton Mitchell for fewer than 9.5 rushing attempts. He has never had 10 rushing attempts in any game in his NFL career, and he is split in the backfield 3 ways with Justice Hill as well as Gus Edwards. Now let's find our next question. This one coming out from Kiru says, oh, we're going to have to resize this. Dear God, come on, Mason, get it together. Kiru says, Komet or likely 234 days and saying yes. It's been quite some time, my friend. I'm going to go ahead and honestly, I'm going to kind of just let you know I don't really know exactly which direction we should be going in here. I'd probably go Komet just because we have a larger sample, but it's a very tough matchup for Komet. Now, Garrett says, Packers defense against Tampa, the Titans defense against Houston. I'm going to go with the Titans defense. Let me pull up the updated spread that we have on that game. Probably should have been something that we looked at quite some time ago, but I mean, I'm just operating under the assumption that the Titans are favored here heavily. Come on, give us some spreads. The Titans are favored by 3 points in Tennessee. I honestly expect that to be like 6. Brazy says PBR start for Etienne, Ayuk, Moore, Rice, Zeke, Puka, Walker, and Waddle. I'm assuming we have news on Tyreek. So let me go ahead and pull up whatever Tyreek Hill news we have. So here are the actives and inactives. Jamal, active. Noah Brown, active. A.J. Dillon, inactive. Christian Watson, inactive. Aaron Jones, active. Chris Godwin, active. Devon Achane, active. Tyreek Hill, inactive. You have no Tyreek Hill this week. God freaking dang it. I needed Tyreek Hill in a couple leagues. Oh my gosh. Oh, I had 30% Tyreek Hill in my underdog playoff teams. Obviously, there was a lot of Tyreek Hill just because how good he was, but no Tyreek. Make sure you fix your lineup. Jalen Waddle, probably someone you have to play. It's a very tough matchup for Waddle, but still, you're going to have to get him in regardless. Now, looking at this, we're playing Waddle, we're playing Etienne, we're playing Ayuk, and we're probably playing Puka. We're going to go Etienne, Ayuk, Waddle, and Puka in a full PBR format. Also, I'm pivoting to Stafford instead of Hurts. I would do that. Yes, sir. No bye, 2 weeks per matchup, so we'll see. I'm wishing you the best of luck. But yeah, play Stafford over Jalen Hurts as well. Now, Sean says, pick 2. Connor, Aaron Jones, London, Zay Jones, Lockett. Also, should we play Sam Howell over Jalen Hurts? Probably. And then I'm going to go with Aaron Jones as well as James Conner. Just take the running backs with the guaranteed workloads. Robert says, choose one for the bench in app PBR format. White, DK Brees, Devonta, thanks for the content. You're the best. Appreciate you, my friend. I'm going to go with Devonta Smith with the uncertainty surrounding Jalen Hurts. Now, Michael says, DJ Moore, Waddle, or Brees. Already had Chase play. I honestly probably go Waddle over DJ Moore now. I probably go Waddle over DJ Moore. Raul says, thanks for the pick'ems. It's $600 on $10 yesterday. That's how the hell does that even, I don't even know how you did that, my friend. But you definitely didn't do that with my advice. I'll say that much. I did not come close to that. Need help. One of each. Wide receiver, running back, flex. Jason, Shaheed, Aaron Jones, Cook, Keaton, Foreman. Thanks. No, thank you, my friend. We're going to go Aaron Jones, Cook easily for running back and flex. And then for the wide receiver spot, we will go with Shaheed over JSN now that you have no Olave. Nathan says Foreman or DeMarcus Robinson. I will go Foreman. MCF says Hopkins, Gibson, or JSN standard scoring. I'm going to go with Gibson with no Brian Robinson. John says start one at a 12-team app BBR. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, London, or Hollywood Brown. Who is the highest upside versus who is the most reliable? I would say Hollywood probably has the highest ceiling. London's maybe the most reliable. I think it's a tough call. Honestly, the real answer to this is I have no idea. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, between these three guys, I do not know. I can tell you I'm wishing you the best of luck, my friend. And I could maybe pull one of those names out my butt and go, oh yeah, we for sure want to play Hollywood Brown. But I mean, I don't know. Hollywood has a horrible matchup going up against the Niners. So I mean, all those guys are very close. I think it comes out of your personal preference there. Now, Minimax says PBR for the flex. Should we go Gibson, Shaheed, or Brown? I'm going to go with Gibson. Gibson's like a must-start guy for me this week. Very similar to Ty Chandler was a must-start guy. I mean, when you have these running backs stepping into a role where they're legitimately going to see just everything in their respective backfields, kind of feel like we have to play that player. Now, Michael says, need to save 8-team full PBR. Starters are Lamar, Montgomery, Mostert, Puka, Kupp, Kelsey, Flex, Metcalf. On the bench, Ridley, Smith, Zeke, Schultz. Montgomery sold me. I'm going to go Ezekiel Elliott for Metcalf. It's a full PBR format, so I think you can make an argument for one or the other. I mean, if you are looking at Zeke, he is just going to get absolutely everything here. I'd say that Zeke does have a relatively high floor. If you're looking at how I ranked them in our flex rankings this week, I put them at 34 and 35 back to back. So I hate to give you this answer again, but I mean, obviously it's the absolute worst answer I can give. But if we have someone ranked back to back in our rankings, 99% of the time, it's literally just up to you, So full BBR format, maybe I say, oh, okay, well, let's go ahead and let's take Metcalf, half PBR, non-PBR. Let's go Zeke, and we can use the tiebreaker there. In reality, it is up to you, and I think it can go either way, my friend. Now, Segi says, need a running back and a flex. Swift, Achane, Odell, and McBride. I'm going to go Swift and Achane. Random Gamer says Njoku or Ingram in a full PPR formats. I'm going to go with Evan Ingram. Sheldon says pick 2, Swift, Walker, or Antonio Gibson. I'm going to go Swift and Gibson. Go says Yo Flock in a rough spot because the weather in Miami. We have Waddle. Do we stick with him or go JSN Ferguson? Do not overthink the weather. I mean, very similar to what we were talking about with the Ravens-Rams last week. Don't panic. I think you just go ahead. I think that you just take Jalen Waddle over JSN and Ferguson, especially now that you have no Tyreek. Chris says, 2 running backs at BBR, Mostert, Henry. If we're having to pick between these two guys, probably go Mostert. I mean, Mostert's in a great offense. I mean, less exciting now that you have no Tyreek. But you have Achane banged up as well. Now, XDL says Connor or Aaron Jones, and then McBride or Goddard. We're going to go McBride over Goddard, and we're going to go Aaron Jones over Connor with no Dylan. Neil says that Tyreek's out. Dobbs, Samuel, or Zay. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to go Zay Jones. He had 14 targets last week. Now, Mofa says, for the flex, full BBR, Walker, Taysom, Shaheed, or Jerick McKinnon. I'm going to go ahead. I will take Kenneth Walker here. A little bit less excited about it being a full PPR format. RJ says, Reed or Shaheed. I'm going to be going with I'm going to go Reed. I mean, with Shaheed, yeah, you have no Thomas. Yeah, you have no Olave. So I understand where you're coming from. But still, Derek Carr has been so bad this year, right? I don't know how excited we are to have like Derek Carr's receivers. Now, Joey says, Komet or Samuel? Ingram did well against the Browns. Super deep league. Plan on holding Hurts and starting Mariota. Yeah, you would definitely plan on that if your other options were Carr or Ritter. And then if this is Curtis Samuel, I mean, you can go Cole Kmet if you want. Neither guy is exciting. If it's Debo, then obviously we're going to go Debo. But if it's Curtis, go Kmet if you want. Drew says, Mike Evans or Devon Achane. I'm starting Diggs and ETN. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Mike Evans. I mean, if you're looking at what you have with Achane, obviously it's nice that he's playing, but still a little bit concerned that maybe it's not going to be 100%. Maybe he's going to be used a little bit more as a gadgety type wide receiver. I'm sorry, well, not wide receiver, running back. Now, Drew says, I'm sorry, Dipset says Olave or Lockett. We're going to go Lockett. Olave's out. And then the Saints or Falcons defense. Thank you, my friend. I'd probably go with the Falcons defense just with how low scoring this game environment should be. But both defenses obviously have great matchups. You can go either or. Now, the Game Maker says flex Taysom, Dobbs, Elijah, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire in a full PPR format. Full PPR format, I'm probably going to go ahead. I probably will take Clyde Edwards-Helaire, non-PPR league. I think maybe you could... Actually, no. We're going to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire almost regardless. Now, Wilson says Aaron Jones or Gibson. I'm going to go Jones, but it's very close. I like both running backs this week. And then Derrick Henry or Ezekiel Elliott. Henry's more exciting now that you have no CJ Stroud as well as no Nico Collins and no Tank Dell, obviously. So for those reasons, I think we're probably going to go ahead and take Derrick Henry. Whereas I could see me going in the direction of Zeke if that wasn't the case. Okay. Now, Zach says full BBR, Connor, Jones, or Zeke. Go Flock. Appreciate you, my friend. Probably going to go ahead and take Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, I think you can make a strong argument for Aaron Jones with no Dylan, but it can't hurt to wait to see him. If you already know what you're going to get with Zeke and you already know you're going to get a true 3-down workload. Now, Dylan says 12-team PPR. With Olave out, we need a flex between Jason, London, Connor, and Keaton Mitchell. I'm going to go ahead. I will take James Conner. Don't like the matchup against the Niners. So if you wanted to go London, I wanted to follow you. Epic Chicken says 2 week. Are we going to go Kyler or risk it with Hurts? I'll just play Kyler. Obviously, I mean, I don't know if Hurts going to play or not, but reading this, I do not feel super confident. I need him, but I do not feel confident. Now, Uncle Fresh says Shaheed with Olave out or London in a full PPR format. I'm going to go with London. Christopher says bench Hurts or wait for another Met option. I mean, it depends who you have. If you have like Kyler, if you have Sam Howell, if you have Brock Purdy, I'm going to go with the other option over Jalen Hurts. However, if it's like, oh, okay, I got to pick up Joe Flacco or Jalen Hurts, then I'm just going to go ahead and play Jalen Hurts and pick up Mariota as a backup option. Okay. Now, Ethan says full BBR, pick up a flex, Chuba, Zay Jones, and then or roll with 2 tight ends, McBride and Kittle. Thanks for the help, Mason. Thank you. I mean, both tight ends are great. I'd probably just play Chuba Hubbard over him, though. When in doubt, play the running back with the 3-down workload over a tight end in the flex spot. Now, Nick says, Jason or Hollywood at the flex today. I'm going to go Hollywood, even if it's a tough matchup. Laporta went off last night, so we have a 60% win probability. Should we just take Hollywood for the floor? And then Taj Spears is also an option. Yeah, just go Hollywood Brown here, my friend. I mean, Hollywood Brown, last time we saw him fully healthy, did see a considerable amount of target volume. So you do have somewhat of a respectable floor there, exactly what you're saying. So yeah, I think we're just going to go Hollywood. Now, Chris says Spears or James Conner. We're going to go with James Conner. I'm not excited about playing Tajay Spears this week. Like, this would not be the week to play him in my mind. Now, Mike says, Hurts or Brock Purdy? Opponent has Debo and Kittle in a full PPR format. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Brock Purdy here relatively easily. I mean, if Jalen Hurts was fully good to go, I'd play Jalen Hurts. But based on the report that we got with the chance that he misses, like, Brock Purdy's an elite quarterback in his own right. Now, Sidekick says, forgot to start Higgins yesterday. I need a bigger receiver between JSN, Dotson, Dobbs, Curtis Samuel, or Douglas. Probably will go ahead and play JSN here. I mean, it's a good matchup where the Eagles do allow a ton of points to opposing wide receivers. I mean, I don't want to sit here and go through all the reasons why I'm excited to play JSN. I'm not that excited to play him, but I mean, if you're looking at like Jahan Dotson, who hasn't been good all season, there, I think I can make an argument to play him, to be honest. Okay. Now, George says, a full BBR for the flex, Mostert or Ferguson? I mean, we're going to go with Raheem Mostert. This is not even close, my friend. Yeah, please go Raheem Mostert here. Neil says, Zeke or Clyde Edwards-Helaire PBR. Thanks, Mason. Thank you, my friend. I think that we're going to go ahead. We are going to take Ezekiel Elliott. Don't love the offense. Don't love the game environment, but I do like the fact that he's going to have every single touch in his backfield, whereas Clyde Edwards-Helaire will split with McKinnon. Now, Logan says, Fields or Jalen Hurts. I'm probably just going to go Justin Fields. I'm not rolling the dice with Hurts. I mean, the fact that he's taking like a separate plane so he doesn't get the rest of the team sick, that's, in my mind, not encouraging. I'm not excited to see that. Mike says, Godwin or Curtis Samuel, full PBR. We're going to go Godwin, but I completely understand where you're coming from. Drew says, Goddard or Kincaid, full PBR. We have Etienne, Diggs, Evans, St. Brown starting. I'm not going to acknowledge Eckler. Oh, that is brutal, my friend. I will go with Kincaid, especially if we have the uncertainty surrounding Jalen Hurts. With Kincaid, he's fully healthy. I mean, it's a worse spot now that Dawson Knox is good to go, but I'm still completely fine going through and starting Kincaid. Now, Carlos says, 18 full BBR double flex. Need to. Achane, Ridley, Hollywood, Goddard, Antonio Gibson. And then Lover Lawrence for a quarterback, 6 point per passing touchdown. I'm going to go, honestly, it's tough with Lawrence going up against the Ravens. I'd probably still go Lawrence over Love. We have him ranked back-to-back this week, though. And then for our two flex spots, I'm going to be going with Achane and, I'm sorry, we're going to be going with Gibson and Achane. And if you wanted to pivot off Achane, you could go to Ridley instead. He says, McBride or likely? For sure, McBride, my friend. Also, Mahomes or Flacco? Mahomes for sure. Clutchbox says, Achane or Brees? I'm going to go Brees just with the possibility that Achane is banged up here. Isaac says, with Hill out, do we start Michael Wilson or DeMarcus Robinson? I would rather go with DeMarcus Robinson given the game environment and matchup, but not excited about either. Now, let me go ahead and pull this up on the other screen. Just give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. And as I do this, oh my gosh, way less than 10% of y'all have hit that like button. What are y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Please go down there, drop a like on this live stream. Today is day 234 of live streaming every single day in a row. We have not missed a day since April, but Sunday morning streams are by far and away the most important for us. Less than 10% of y'all have hit that like button. So please, if you can, go down there, drop a like on this live stream. It does help us out a ton. And dimes will be our next question, but let me refresh this so we can pull this up. And also, if y'all wanted to check out any of those pick'ems over on Underdog Fantasy, you can find that link in the description, comment section, live chat. Promo code FLOCK, get you 100% deposit match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, a Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than half a total yard for the game tonight. And in that game tonight, my favorite pick'em is going to be Keaton Mitchell for fewer than 9.5 rushing attempts. He has never had a game with 10 or more rushing attempts in his NFL career. So it's an easier spot for me to go through and say that, to be honest. I feel more confident with that pick'em than we do the majority of the other ones. Now, Let's go ahead and let's pull up this one. This is from Dimes, who says bench Hurts. Won't have a quarterback Monday if he sits. If you can't pick up Mariota, then yeah, I mean, obviously it does depend on your other options. So, but I am worried about Hurts. Gavin says Keenum or Reed in the super flex. We're going to go Case Keenum. Mike says Reed or Devonta Smith in the flex. I'm going to go with Smith. Ben's Mafia says start Aaron Jones or Gibson. Super excited about both guys, but now that you have no Dillon, we'll go Jones. Ricky says Happy BR Flacco or Connor in the super flex. We're going to go Flacco. Ricky says DK or Hopkins. I'm going to go DK. Sebastian says Tua, Howell, or Geno. Really tough spot now that you have no Tyreek. And with no Tyreek, I'm going to go Sam Howell. Aiden says start Kincaid or Likely at tight end. I will go Kincaid. Jeremy says flex McBride, Aaron Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And then with Jones, I would be worried about limited snaps if it wasn't for no A.J. Dillon. So I'm a little bit more confident in playing him. So honestly here, I'd probably go ahead. Personally, I'm just going to go through and play Aaron Jones. iShine says, yo, bro, need an upside play. Mostert or Waddle for the flex. HN's in, Hill's out. I'm still going to be going Mostert over Waddle. I feel very safe with the running backs here. It's a better matchup for a running back than a receiver. Princess Hurts playing injured Monday, or Stafford or Howell. I'm going to go with Stafford. I'm not going to roll the dice here over with Hurts. Stafford right now is the second highest implied team total of any team in the NFL. Now, Joey DeRosa says, do we start Tyreek Tua versus tough Jets secondary when most of the production will be coming from or Zach Wilson? Oh, we're going to go Tua over Zach Wilson. We're going to go Tua over Zach Wilson. And I'm 99% sure this isn't, but there is a Joe DeRosa comedian. That would be crazy if that was Joe DeRosa. But Juice says, stressing Purdy or Allen. I'm going to go ahead. I will play Josh Allen given the rushing upside, even if Purdy's in a better weather environment. Also, Gibson or Foreman. Oh, Gibson by a mile. Gibson's in a great spot this week. Now, Aaron says, Thielen, Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Foreman. Start two with Olave out now. I'm going to go Aaron Jones and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And then also Green Bay or the Rams defense. Rams defense obviously can generate a ton of turnovers here. Loves. I'm probably going to go with the Rams defense. I mean, right now the Commanders are at the top of the NFL in sacks allowed. And then Waller, Chig, Auden, or Kraft. I will go Darren Waller there, even if you're taking on the risk. Now, Keel says 10-team full BBR for the flex. Start Waddle, Zeke, or Rashee Rice at the flex. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Ezekiel Elliott. I would go Waddle over Rice, but Zeke's going to have the guaranteed touches. Dobis says full BBR pick 2, Shaheed McKinnon or Curtis Samuel. I'm going to be going with Shaheed and McKinnon now that you have no Olave. Manny says start 1, Waddle, Swift, Walker, JSN, and Odell. I'm going to go with Waddle. Basic says Hopkins or Aaron Jones. We're going to go Jones, Stafford, or Mahomes. Super, super close. I'm going to go Mahomes. Started Javonte against Goff. Okay, so we are in a big hole. I am wishing you the best of luck. Good luck, my friend. We are going to need it. That is a tough spot to crawl out of. Michael says 12-team PBR. Now that Tyreek's out, would you start the Miami defense or the Saints defense? It actually is a little bit closer now. Honestly, with no Tyreek, the game environment should be one where maybe the Jets don't have to throw the ball aggressively in the second half. So if you wanted to go with the Saints defense, I'm not going to fault you at all. I'd probably go with the Miami defense, but it's close. John says Tyreek out, Niners or Falcons defense starting Kyle. We're going to go with the Niners defense. WB says Reed or Zay Jones full BBR since Olave and Hill are out. Also Arizona or Dallas's defense. Arizona's defense could be the worst option you could possibly ever play this week, my friend. We're going to go with the Dallas defense. And then Reed or Zay Jones. I'm going to go with Reed, even if Zay Jones had 14 targets last week. GD says start 2, McLaurin, Dobbs, Samuel, Shaheed, and Elijah. We're going to be going with Shaheed and McLaurin, assuming that's Curtis. If it's Debo, you go Debo. New Era says start 2, HN, James Cook, and Swift. I'm going to go with James Cook and Swift. I'm worried about HN. Garrett says full BBR, Evans or Swift. I'm going to go Evans. And McBride or Ferguson. We're going to go McBride. James says Allen or Dak. We're going to be going with Allen. Zeke or Hall. I'm going to go with Hall. Wilson, Flowers, Reed. I'm going to be going with Wilson. Any of the above names plus HN for the flex. We'll go HN for, actually, no, we'll go Zeke over HN. And then it looks like HN is active. Yes, sir, HN is active. I'm a little bit worried about him not being 100% though. Now, Nabil says, A Foreman or Clyde Edwards-Helaire, full BBR, playing too many Chiefs. I'm going to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire over Foreman. Foreman's in a 3-man running back by committee. Clyde Edwards-Helaire's in a 2-man running back by committee, but CH is in a better offense. John says, start 2, PBR, Puka, Waddle, HN, and Ayuk. I'm going to be going with Puka and definitely the receivers. If Waddle had a better matchup, it'd be Waddle easily. It's just a tough matchup against the Jets. Definitely play Puka. Between Waddle and Ayuk, I think it's close, and it really is up to you. Just make sure you're playing them over HN. Now, Blake says, hey, Mason, 12-team map BBR started. Makes it as my RB1. Should we start at RB2, Gibson or HN? I'm going to go Antonio Gibson over HN. Gibson, I have no hesitation with. I think Gibson will be a 3-down back. I mean, very similar to what we said with Ty Chandler yesterday. It's going to be a 3-down back. We'll have receiving usage as well. I'm excited about him. Justin says, pick 2, Swift, Zeke, Rashee Rice. We're going to go with the running backs. Bench Rice there. Nick says, projected to win by 25. Hell yes, double flex league. We have Hurts, CMC, HN, DJ, Puka, Laporta, Eckler, Swift, Miami. Surely we can play HN over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Yes, we can play HN over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Can pick up Kyler Baker or trust Hurts and grab Mariota. Much love, bro. Much love, my friend. I'd probably play it safe and just go Kyler Murray if we're projected to win by 25. But, I mean, as long as you pick up Mariota for the bench play, you should be fine. I would probably play it a little bit safer, though. And go through and see if we can just pick up. See if we can just play Kyler Murray. AJ says, Zay Jones or HN. I'm going to go HN over Zay Jones. I agree with you. I am worried about HN's injury, and I don't think he is like 100% locked and loaded as a must-start guy, but I'm still playing him over Zay Jones for sure. Team Galaxy says we have Ingram, McBride, Diggs in the lineup. Geno's in the super flex. Waddle, Zeke are on the bench. How do you set the lineup? I'm for sure taking out a tight end. I'm taking out Evan Ingram, and instead we're going to go through and we're going to put in Waddle. I mean, put in Waddle or Zeke over Evan Ingram for the flex, and then outside of that, you're chilling. But you have to make that swap. Now, 44 MSU says PBR, Waddle or Flowers. I'm going to go Waddle. Jones or HN. I'm going to go Jones. Lastly, Kyler or Hurts. I'm going to go Kyler. I'm playing it safe. Bridget says 16-team BBR, Minshew, CMC, Walker, Lamb, Evans, Amari, Kincaid. Traded Henry and Pitts for CMC. Phenomenal. Weak bench with only Hunt, JSN. Think I'm good this weekend, but would you make any trades? Thanks for the help. Honestly, no. I think you're chilling as is. This is a spot where I'd be a little bit concerned if we were, say, back in week 4 and we were about to go through a ton of bye weeks and we had a ton of injuries. Then, yeah, I'd say that maybe we need a little more depth here, but ultimately, this isn't really a situation where you need to focus in on the depth. We're in the fantasy football playoffs. In the playoffs, the last thing I want to worry about is depth, and I want to go out there and get the best starting lineup I possibly can. If that means we can go trade for CMC, let's do it. Now, Jerma says, good morning, Flock. Happy BR started Chase, and we have Puka, Kupp, Rice, Connor. Need a receiver to flex. I'm going to go with both Puka and Kupp. Great matchup for both of them. Thank you, the Rams, for the win. Yes, sir, we are going to. Also, full BBR. Evans, Rice, Smith. Thank you. Good luck. Good luck, my friend. I will go with Evans over Rice and Smith. Jerry says, Tyreek's out. Do we start Odell, Amari, or Elijah Moore? I'm going to go with Amari. Gage says, Shaheed, Zay Jones, or Demario Douglas. I'm going to go with Shaheed now that you have no Olave. Chase says, with Tyreek out, would we start Amari or Rashee Rice? I'm going to go with Rashee Rice. They are close. And then also pick 2, we need a running back and a flex between Walker, Brees, Zeke, and Achane. We're going to be going with Zeke and Brees. Take the 2 running backs in a bad offense, but at the same time, they have the guaranteed workload. I mean, with Achane, not only am I worried about the turf toe with him maybe not being at 100%, but at the same time, if you have no Tyreek Hill, it's going to be a tougher spot for this offense to just be able to move the ball down the field overall. So, I don't know. I'm not super pumped about Achane this week. Flock Soldier says, Hill's out. Start 2, Ridley, Hopkins, and Odell. I'm going to be going with Ridley and Hopkins, my friend. Sebastian says, I made the Tua Geno Howell question. For context, we have Waddle, but I'm starting Brees in the flex as of now. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to take Sam Howell now that you have no Tyreek Hill. Honestly, I don't think that's too tough to figure out either. Like, should be a higher scoring game environment between the Rams and Commanders. Big Route says, which defense? Falcons, Browns, Rams, or Titans? I mean, all these defenses are great options. I personally just want to play the Titans. I mean, I don't see how Houston moves the ball down the field with no Dell, with no Collins, with no Stroud. It's not like they're only missing the receivers or only missing the quarterback. They're missing everything here. Reagan says, full BBR, Amari, Walker, or Gibson for the flex. I'm going to go Gibson. G says, no Hill, start 1. Godwin, Clyde Brasileiro, likely Shaheed. I'm going to go Godwin, but it's close. Chasing ceiling since Javonte let me down. Appreciate my dog. No, I appreciate you, my friend. It's close. I think we go Godwin. Godwin's had the volume. It was a neck injury, so I don't necessarily think that he is coming in and going to play a smaller work. It's not like a turf toe or anything. Not super confident in it, but I think that's the direction we go. Now, Elijah says, full BBR without Tyreek. Do we play Shaheed or Godwin? I'm going to go Godwin. And then also bench one of Cook, Swift, Gibson. I'll be benching Cook there. Be benching Cook. Tough matchup. Dan says, happy BR flex. Lockett, Taysom, or Aaron Jones. Thank you. No, thank you. I'll go Jones now that you have no Dylan. Now, Drill says, full BBR lost Nico Tyreek. Replace, my free agents are Wandale Woods, DeMarcus, Wicks. I'm going to go with DeMarcus Robinson here. If CJ Stroud was playing, then I'd go Robert Woods, but I'm not super excited about it. Now, John says, with Tyreek out, Noah Brown or Zay Jones in a standard league. With no CJ Stroud, I'm going to go with Zay Jones. He had 14 targets. Only issue is it's a very tough matchup against the Ravens. Now, Richard says, Rashee Rice, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Waddle, or Zay Flowers, full PPR. We got to pick 2. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp and Jalen Waddle now that you have no Tyreek. Benjamin says, full BBR, would you go Waddle or Puka? Appreciate you, my friend. I think it is very close now that you have no Tyreek. If Tyreek was going to play, I would have taken Puka easily with how good the matchup is. I probably go Waddle, but it's close. I mean, Puka looks to be in such a good spot this week going up against Washington. Now Henry says, pick 2 running backs, full PBR, Jones, Walker, Ford, and Mitchell. I'm going to be going with Jones. And Walker. Give me Jones and Walker. Juice says, full BBR pick 3, Diggs, Puka, Ayuk, Waddle, and Rice. For sure not Rice. Rice is an easy bench. Between Waddle, Ayuk, Puka, Diggs, it comes down to Puka and Waddle. I probably play Waddle, but it's so damn close. Gibmore says, my guy, full BBR, Bijan, Barkley, Puka, Waddle said 1. Appreciate you as always, my friend. And yeah, same thing over and over again. It's Puka versus Waddle, Puka versus Waddle. I have no idea. I would probably go Waddle now that we have no Tyreek Hill. My only hesitation is it's a beautiful matchup for Puka and it's a horrible matchup for Waddle. Now, Peace Among Worlds says pick 3, Jones, Zeke, Brees, Puka, point per first down. We're going to go with Zeke, Brees, Puka. Zeke, Brees, Puka. Zafir says not PBR, Hall, Swift, Walker, pick 2. Thanks, Mason. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to be going with Brees Hall and DeAndre Swift. Pew Pew says full BBR, JSN or Achan. I'm going to go Achan. Tommy says Brees or Achan. I'm going to go Brees. And then Taysom or Likely. I'm going to go with Taysom. View Blue says with Olave out, who should we start for the flex? Wandale, Pop, Schultz, or Foreman. I'm going to go with Foreman. Dime says Flacco or Geno. We're going to go Geno, assuming he's good to go. We have Hurts in a tough spot. I mean, I would rather pick up Mariota, to be honest. If Hurts doesn't play, I'd rather go Mariota. Steven says HN or Walker. I'm already starting Waddle. I will go HN over Walker. Zan says flex London, Lockett, Connor, Hollywood. I'm going to play Connor. And then Sam or Kyler. Tough spot. Kyler does have the rushing upside. I probably go Kyler Murray if it's a 4-point passing touchdown format. Sam Howell if it's a 6-point. Now, Samil says start Odell or McBride, happy BR format. I'm going to go with McBride, my friend. Now, Matthew says, what should we do about the Jalen Hurts situation? Currently don't have a backup quarterback. If like Sam Howell is sitting out there on the waiver wire and picking up Sam Howell, I'm just going to roll with him. If not, we're going to plan on going with Jalen Hurts and we're picking up Marcus Mariota in case Jalen Hurts does not play. Tyler says, Morden brother, full BBR, 1 receiver, 1 flex. Moore, Zay, Achan, or Hubbard. I'm going to go DJ Moore and Devon Achan. John says Waddle or Achane. I'm going to go Waddle. Opponent has to it. Yeah, we're going to go Waddle. A young Dolly, always happy to see it, says, yep, season's over. Lost Tyreek, Collins, Jacobs, Brian Robinson. Not even going to break 100 points in a full. I'm so damn sorry, my friend. I am sorry. Just sucks that it has to happen in a singular week, right? I'm sorry, my friend. Now, G. Medina, longtime member of the flock, happy to see you. Says, hey, Mason, Taysom or Schultz at tight end, full PPR. Thanks. So thank you. I'm going to go with Taysom. I could see an argument for Schultz in a full PPR format. He should have the target volume with all the receivers out here. I'm just not excited about the offense at all with no Stroud. Now, Aaron says, do you trust Achane? I trust Achane over these guys you're mentioning, but I mean, there is a lot of downside to him. So, yeah, I mean, define trust. Like, Spencer says, happy BR pick 2 running backs to start. Mostert, Achane, Gibson. I'm going to go Mostert, Gibson here. I'm going to play Gibson over Achane. I think Gibson's just a must-start guy. Michael says, start Kamara, Diggs, Puka. Need 2. I'm going to go with Kamara and Diggs. And then Achane, London, Odell. I would rank them in that order. Kevin says 12-team full BBR flex. Clyde Edwards-Helaire likely. I'm going to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Michael says Fields or Sam Howell. I'm going to go Fields for the rushing upside, my friend. Mark James says Tennessee or New Orleans. I'm going to go with Tennessee. I think both are great, though. Mike says $500 buy-in, 12-team at BBR format. Hopkins or Connor. I'm going to go with Hopkins, and I'm wishing the best of luck. I mean, Connor would be an easy play if it was a better matchup than the Niners. Now, Christian says, I need to flex Waddle or Ridley. We're going to go Waddle, even in a tough matchup. Jesse says, pick 2, Thielen, Taysom, Odell in a 14-team app PPR format. We're going to be going with Odell and Thielen. Odell and Thielen. Even though Taysom does look viable, knowing that you have no Michael Thomas and no Olave. I Shine, always happy to see us, says, need some upside. We have Kittle as our starting tight end, but Njoku likely Godwin for the flex. Obviously, if you were chasing upside, you could see what you just had from Njoku and think, oh, okay, well, let's just go ahead and let's play Njoku. That's easy. I mean, I personally play Godwin, but I've been playing Godwin all year and been getting crushed all year for it. David says quarterback, Field, Stafford, Howell. I'm going to go Stafford. And then Odell, Shaheed, JSN. I'm going to go with Shaheed. Griffin face lost Tyreek. Is Damari Douglas or Curtis Samuel? I'll go Curtis Samuel in a much better game environment. Bad Mad Gaming says no Tyreek. Pick 1, Appy BR. Dotson or DeMarcus Robinson. I will go Jahan Dotson. Robinson had a considerable amount of target volume last week, and it's a great matchup, so I know where you're coming from. I don't know. I just don't want to play DeMarcus Robinson. But wishing you the best of luck, my friend. Matt says, 2-partner, Baker or Hurts? Hurts. Pick up Mariota in case he doesn't go. Do we play Achane or Clyde Edwards-Helaire? We're going to go Achane over Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Kincaid, even though I'm worried about him. Now, M. King says, if Hurts is out, are we going to go Smith or Chuba in a full PPR format? Thanks. Thank you. Probably Chuba, as painful as it sounds. I mean, this is someone that's getting work on all 3 downs, right? Now, Louis says, Odell or Zay. If it's Zay Flowers, we're going to go Zay Flowers. Zay Jones, we're going to go Odell. Zeke or Brees, we're going to go Brees. Have Rasheed and Zay over Higgins and Chandler in a league hurting today. That is brutal, my friend. If that's Flowers, I don't fault you at all for making the call. Obviously, it didn't work out, but still. Princess, Abby BR start 1. Keaton, Gus, Hollywood. I'm going to go Hollywood. Addie says, wide receiver 2, Diggs or Puka. We're going to go Diggs. 6-point passing touchdown format. Flacco, Kyler, Lawrence. I'm going to go Kyler, even though he's a little bit worse in a 6-point passing touchdown league. Now, Barry says, pick 2, JSN, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Hollywood Brown. I'm going to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Hollywood Brown. Thin Blue Line says, how BBR 2 separate flex league issues? One league, Foreman or Singletary, other Zeke or Puka. Puka over Zeke, Foreman over Singletary, and appreciate you, my friend, and wishing you the best of luck here. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Now, Peace Among Worlds says, have BBR start 3, Kittle, McBride, DJ Moore, Wilson, Noah Brown. We're going to go with DJ Moore, Wilson, and Kittle. DJ Moore, Wilson, and Kittle. Antonio says, need a flex, Hopkins or Odell, go flock. Good luck, my friend. We are going to go with DeAndre Hopkins. John says, need 2 out of these 4. Achane, Waddle, Rice, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Thank you. Thank you. I will go with Waddle and Achane. If you wanted to go Rice over Achane, I wouldn't fault you, though. Make sure you play Waddle. Kenneth says, Swift or Achane. I will go with DeAndre Swift. We will roll the dice there. And let me swing this around, ladies and gentlemen, to the other screen so we can keep bringing these up. And as I do this, let me remind you, only about 10% of y'all have hit that like button. We have live streamed for 234 days in a row. Sunday morning streams are by far and away the most important for us. So if you're ever going to go down there and hit that like button, please make sure you do it today. And of course, if you wanted to check out any of these pick'ems over on Underdog Fantasy today, you can find that link in the live chat, in the description, in the comment section. Promo code FLOCK, get a 100% deposit match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, a Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than half a total yard for tonight's game. And tonight's game also has my favorite pick'em, which is going to be the Keaton Mitchell fewer than 9.5 rushing attempts. He has never had 10 rushing attempts in his entire NFL career. Splitting the backfield 3 ways. Not super excited about Keaton Mitchell here. Okay. But let me just confirm as we go through and look at this. Yep. Our next question coming out from My Name's Blue, who says, start 2, JSN. And we're going to have to start going through these hyper speed, ladies and gentlemen. These are going to be quick answers. JSN, Reed, Zeke, Noah Brown. We're going to be going with Zeke, Noah Brown. I'm sorry, Zeke, Jaden Reed. Eric says, had Moss injured yesterday, had St. Brown last night in the Indy defense. We have Evans, Kupp, Kyron. Happy BR. Really need to pick the position correct. Taysom with his upside or Kincaid. I'm going to go with Kincaid. Go Kincaid. Eric says, Tua or Baker. I'm going to be going with Baker. And Odell or Garrett Wilson. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson. A sidekick. Thanks for earlier. Was worried about JSN with Geno questionable. Tight end Njoku likely or Darren Waller. I'm going to go David Njoku. Gibmore says 12-team standard league. Sit 2. Achane, Brown, Ayuk, Cook, Puka. I'm going to go with Cook and Brown if that's Hollywood. If that's AJ, we're going to go Cook and Achane. Nick says, have BBR, half point per first down. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, JSN, Godwin, or Shaheed. Double flex. If we're just choosing one of these guys, we're going to go Godwin. If we're choosing 2, we're going to go Godwin and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Dan says, have BBR, Wilson or Smith. We're going to go Wilson. Singletary or Connor. We're going to go Connor. Chris says, have BBR. Can't decide Puka or Barkley for the flex. We're going to go with Barkley. Can't afford a bust performance from whoever I choose. Who's the safer choice? My opponent has Kupp. I think both are very safe options. I think maybe Barkley is a little safer. Tyler says, got to replace Tyreek. Nico's out too. Who do we take off the waiver wire? Shaheed, Wicks, Elijah, Devontae Parker, Robert Woods, and Marcus Robinson. None are great options, but who would you take? We're going to go Shaheed with no Olave, my friend. Now, Steven says, Keenan, Hill, Olave out. Douglas or DeMarcus? I'm going to go with, honestly, maybe DeMarcus Robinson. Basic says, PBR, AJ Brown or Hopkins since Hurts is questionable. AJ Brown. Sam says, Cooks or Shaheed for the flex? I'm going to go with Shaheed. Mutiny says, HN or Brees Hall for the flex full PBR. We're going to go with Hall. RM says, have BBR, HN or Aaron Jones for the flex. We're going to go Jones. Jeremiah says, Jones or Ridley with Olave out. We're going to go Jones. Eddie says, Walker or Gibson. We're going to go Gibson. Andrew says, Flocka, baby. Not a lot of great options. Would you start DeVito this morning or pick up Mariota and hope for the best? If you have Jalen Hurts, we're going to plan on Jalen Hurts. And if he's not going to go, we're going to go Mariota. If you don't have Jalen Hurts and you're just saying, do we take a 0 tomorrow night or play Marcus Mariota and have a shot at playing Mariota? Then you just play Tommy DeVito. But if you have a chance of playing, if you can either go Tommy DeVito or for sure the starting quarterback for the Eagles, you go starting quarterback for the Eagles. Eli says start 2 PBR, London, Odell, and Jones. We're going to go Jones and London. Gustavo says JSN or Zay Jones. We're going to be going with Zay Jones. Dylan says, hey, should we start Rice over Waddle? Nope, play Waddle. Also, Kincaid or Likely? We're going to go Kincaid. And then, yeah, Kincaid over Waller as well. John says, am I starting Waller, Logan Thomas, or Likely? We're going to go Waller. Neil says, JSN or Zay Jones. So very desperate. Thanks, Mason. Thank you. I will go Zay Jones. Fun Guy Chunk says, start 1, Reed, Komet, Charbonnet, or Odell. We lost Hill. I'm going to go with Jaden Reed. The Ego says Waller or Likely. I'm rolling the dice on Waller. Christopher says Thielen or Cooks. I will go with Adam Thielen. Yojitsu says full BBR Jones, Edwards, Samuel, or Romeo Dobbs. We're going to go Aaron Jones relatively easily here. Jones, good spot with no Dylan. Chris says start 2 PBR. Foreman, Shaheed, Noah Brown, Gabe Davis, JSN, and Elijah Moore. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take Gabe Davis and JSN in a full PPR format. Will says Purdy or Lamar. Ooh, I'm going to go Lamar. Actually, no, very tough spot. 4-point passing touchdown format. I think make an argument for Lamar. Honestly, may have to go Purdy. Let's go Purdy. DJ Moore, Waddle, or Derrick Henry. Non-PBR, we're going to go Henry. Full BBR format, probably Waddle. Chris says, with Olave out, Shaheed or Lockett at the flex. We're going to go Shaheed. Yakub says, at the flex, Gibson, Ridley, or Shaheed. I'm going to go Gibson easily. Dime says, need 2, Hubbard, Amari, Achane, and is Najee a drop? I mean, you can. I've said with these Pittsburgh guys all season that they're essentially just handcuffs. If Jalen Warren goes down with an injury, then Najee's great. If Najee goes down, then Jalen Warren's great. But if they're both healthy, then you really can't rely on either or. So, I mean, if you wanted to drop them, if you don't want to roster handcuff at this point, not going to fault you for it. And then I'm going to go with both running backs. We're going to go Hubbard and Achane. Now, Chanel says, PBR, start 2 in the flex. Achane, Zeke, Ridley, Zay Jones. Achane, Zeke, Ridley, Zay Jones. I'm going to go with Achane and Zeke. Play both running backs. Now, Andrew says, I hate fantasy. Tyreek and Olave out. See you next year, boys. I mean, my man, still some hope. As long as you didn't go up against Laporte and Gibbs last night, there is still some hope. I'm wishing you the best of luck. Michael says, BBR need 2, Henry, Smith, or Achane. I'm going to go Henry and Achane. Adrian says, full BBR for the flex. Who should we start? Shaheed, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Damari Douglas, or Demarcus Robinson? I'm going to roll the dice with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Obviously, it is a dice roll here. I mean, he is split in this backfield 50-50. But I don't know. Now, next question coming out from Brody says, Hurts sick. If he doesn't play, do we trust AJ with Mariota or replace with Raheem at the flex? Still have DK, Cup, wide receiver. To be honest with you, the only thing that I probably change here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be playing Raheem over DK Metcalf. Yeah, I'm playing Raheem over Metcalf, to be honest. Andrew says, no Tyreek, so Jones, Schultz, or Douglas. We're going to go Aaron Jones. Alex says, full BBR, Odell, Jones, or JSN. We're going to go Aaron Jones. Lucas says, McBride or Likely. We're going to go McBride. Waddle, Reed, or Achane for the flex. We'll go with Waddle. Blake says, hey, Mason, have BBR to flex. Achane, say Jaden Reed. Thanks. Thank you. I will go ahead and I'll flex Achane, even if we are taking on some risk there. Nick says, Noah Brown, Godwin, or JSN. I'm going to go Godwin. And then Cook or Swift at the flex. I'm going to go Cook now that we have the uncertainty surrounding Jalen Hurts. If you would have asked me previously, I'd have said Swift, though. Joshua says, full BBR, Hill out. We need a receiver to flex between Amari, Flowers, Zeke. We're going to go with Zeke for sure at the flex. Wide receiver between Amari and Flowers. I think it's going to be close. I mean, Flowers looks to be in a good spot with no Mark Andrews. Make sure you play Ezekiel 8 at the flex. And if you look at my flex rankings, I have Amari and Zay Flowers back-to-back at 46, 47. So when it comes to the wide receivers, I hate to give you this answer, but it legitimately is neck and neck, and it is up to you. I don't think you can make a wrong decision there. But we're going to have to swing this back around to the other page. Give me 1 second to do this. And we have over 750 likes on the stream. Thank you so much for everybody going down there and dropping a like on this live stream. If you have not done so, it's not too late. Today is day 234 of us live streaming every single day in a row. So please go down there and hit that like button if you have not done so already. And if you wanted to check out any of those pick'ems over on Underdog Fantasy for today, you can find that link in the description, in the comment section, in the live chat. Promo code FLOCK, get 100% deposit match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get you hooked up with a Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than half a total yard for the game tonight. And in that same game, you have my favorite pick'em, which is going to be the Keaton Mitchell, fewer than 9.5 rushing attempts, has never hit 10 rushing attempts in a game in his NFL career. But our next question coming out from, I believe, Cindy says, flex Achane or Devonta Smith with Hurts questionable. We will go Achane. David says 2 running backs, Achane, Pollard, James Cook. We're going to go Pollard and Cook. 1 defense, Cleveland or New Orleans. We're going to go with New Orleans most likely. No, I'll go. I'll defense up to you. Both are great options. Jay Game says, would you consider benching Tua for DeVito? I would consider benching Tua, but not for DeVito. Not for DeVito, but you can bench Tua if you have a better option. Chris says, also Walker, Gibson, RB2, full BBR. Full BBR, I'm going to go with Gibson. Chris says, Olave out, 2, 2, and 1. Pollard, White, Diggs, Rice, Henry, Puka. Leading towards using everybody but Henry. I think Henry's in a better spot now that you have no CJ Stroud. They can run the ball in the second half. So what I would probably actually do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bench Rice there out of those options. I'm sorry. Not actually. Would we go Rice? Yeah, I'm benching Rice over Derrick Henry. Give me Henry over Rice. Now, Hunter says, full BBR start 3, Waddle, DJ Moore, Hopkins, and Aaron Jones. Okay. Going to go ahead. I'm going to take Waddle, DJ Moore, and Aaron Jones. Waddle, DJ Moore, and Aaron Jones. Calvin says, full BBR need to start 2. Thielen, London, Odell, Brown, and Woods on waivers. We're going to go with London and Odell. BH says, actually, you can go Thielen over Odell. Thielen Odell is very close. Just make sure you're playing London. BH says, Rashee Rice or Brees projected to lose. I'm going to go Brees Hall. Dizzle says, Rashee Rice or James Cook. Full BBR format, give me Rashee Rice. Christopher says, Cooks or Adam Thielen, half BBR format. I'm going to go Thielen. Sean says, Odell over Garrett Wilson or Diggs. No, sir. Please go Wilson and Diggs. Rich said, Achane or Smith in the flex. We're going to go Achane. And then Cowboys, Saints, or Falcons defense. It's either the Saints or Falcons. Don't want to go with the Cowboys this week in particular, but it is up to you. I think both are in great spots. Now, Brendan says 2 spots, Wilson, Smith, and Achane. I'm going to go with both Wilson and Achane. Smith, I think you can pivot off of with the Hurts question mark. Okay. Now, Roberto says, start Achane or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm going to go Achane. And then the Titans or Niners defense. We're going to go with the Niners. Nobody has a better defense this week than the Niners. Just Kevin says Njoku or Taysom. I'm going to go Njoku. Blake says PBR Achane or Zeke. We're going to go Zeke. Includes a point per first down. Then, yeah, definitely go Zeke. And always happy to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for being a long-time member of the flock. And let me go ahead and make you a moderator. I don't know how you're not one already, my friend. But Neurologic says, good morning. Happy to see you. Appreciate your grind set and commitment to the channel, Mason. Taysom with no Olave or likely or Kincaid at tight end. Non-PBR format, I think you can go Taysom. Full BBR league, I'm just going to play it safe and go Dalton Kincaid. I will go Kincaid there. And it is, I know this, I was telling my girlfriend this, like in the heat of the season, takes like a toll on me mentally whenever we have so many like new people coming in that stumble on the channel, that come in and see me and go, oh my gosh, this guy's clearly an idiot. Let me tell this guy how much of an idiot he is as if he doesn't already know. And then we just get so many freaking hate comments like early in the year. Whereas now it's nice in that it seems like the majority of the people that are with us in these live streams have, like, every single name we're pulling up has been with us for a long time, you know? So it's like the people who have been with us for a long time typically are nice and don't say mean things for me. So it's just a lot more pleasant, to be honest with you. It is nice seeing like the familiar faces over and over again. But Big Green says a full BBR for wide receiver 2, pick 1, Zay Jones, JSN, or Demario Douglas. You're going to go Zay Jones coming off a week 14 targets last week. Tough matchup. Jeremy says PBR pick 2, Jones, Zeke, Waddle. I'm going to be going with Zeke and full BBR, probably Waddle over Jones. It is tough though. Now, Eric Wayrether says full BBR, Waddle, Walker, Connor. We're going to go Waddle, full BBR, and then Stafford or Purdy. Both quarterbacks, great spots this week. We will go Purdy though. Will says, I'm feeling a JSN legacy game on Monday. Will be interesting. I mean, obviously the Eagles have allowed a ton of points to opposing wide receivers so far this season. So I understand where you'd be coming from. I don't know. With the uncertainty of the quarterback playing the game, I'm just not super excited about it. Now, Ryan says, happy BR pick 3, London, Godwin, Singletary, Odell, and JSN and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We're going to go with London, Godwin, and honestly, Odell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is close, and it's up to you. But I'm playing London and Godwin. Even if Godwin continues to do nothing over and over again, when he has target volume, I'm going to play him over someone like Odell. Thomas says, Dynasty Playoffs, Flex 1, Michael Wilson, Thielen, Noah Brown. We're going to go with Thielen, my friend. Not feeling great about it, though. John says, start Hurts or Kyler as my backup. We're going to go with Kyler Murray. I'm not rolling dice with Hurts there. Dustin says, Purdy or Lamar, full BBR format. They're ranked back-to-back for us this week. I think you go Purdy based off how good his matchup is, though. Lamar does have a good matchup as well, though. Nathan says, start Ferguson and Mario or Noah Brown at the flex. I'm going to go with probably Noah Brown, to be honest with you. Going up against Goff. Okay, so we need the highest ceiling possibly can. So if we need the highest ceiling possible, we're going to go with the receiver. We'll go Noah Brown. We lost Chase. Luckily, we have Hurts, CMC, Kyron, McBride playing. Hopefully, we have Hurts playing, my friend. Just in case you didn't see, Hurts is questionable right now. He got downgraded to questionable and may not be good to go on Monday. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. Like, I don't want to come out here and say he's not playing, but it's tough. Now, Chris says, PBR need a ton. Post Laporta, are we going to go Shaheed or Zay? If it's a Flowers, we're going to go Flowers. If it's a Jones, we'll go Shaheed. Austin says, DeVito or Tua with no Tyreek. We will go Tua over DeVito, but if you wanted to look for another option outside of DeVito, I wouldn't fault you at all for it. I'm just not playing DeVito. David says, with hell out now, which quarterback are we going to start? Rank from worst to best. Tua, Flacco, Baker, or Geno. I'm going to go ahead. I will take Baker, then Geno, then Tua, then Flacco. I don't know. I can't go Flacco. I'm sorry. I know I'm an idiot. I can't do it. Josh says, pick 3 for the super flex. Howell, Brees, HN, Mostert. I'm going to bench HN. Play Howell, play Brees, play Mostert. Charles says, likely or Kincaid. We're going to go Kincaid. Bobby says, start 1. Oh, crap. Refreshed on us. Give me a second. Yeah, we're going to have to pivot that back over to the other screen. And as I do that, let me skip ahead real quick. We have a massive dono coming out from Jackson. So start 2, full BBR, Swift, Jones, DJ Moore. Hope you had a good holiday, and thank you for all your hard work. No, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you, and hope you have a great one as well. We are flying out to see the fam starting tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be working with a little bit of a rundown setup compared to what we're used to, but hopefully we'll be able to get through. And Between Swift, Jones, DJ Moore, I'm going to be going with DJ Moore for sure. Between Aaron Jones and Swift, I kind of just want to say Aaron Jones. Now that you have no A.J. Dillon, and not only do you have no A.J. Dillon, but at the same time, Jalen Hurts is questionable. So I think we honestly go Jones. Now, Bobby says, start one for the flex, JSN, Zay Jones, or Odell. Super close. I probably go Zay Jones just because he had 14 targets last week. Now, Sam says, down 10 points. Who do we go with for the flex? Happy BR, pick 2. Brandon Cooks, Thielen, or Shaheed. I'm going to be going with Thielen and Shaheed. Devin says, Tua without Hill or Flacco, or Tua Wilson. I think most people would say Flacco over Tua with no Tyreek. I'm an idiot, so I'm going to have a very hard time saying that. But most people want Flacco. And I got to go very fast here. I'm sorry. Greg says, a full BBR, Cook, Ridley, Gibson. We're going to go Gibson. I also saw we just lost Tyreek. We have JT, Jacob, Stroud out. Thank God we had Laporta. Okay, yeah. Good job having Laporta there, my friend. I wish I did. Nathan says, just seen the Hurts news. Start Kyler. I'm going to go Kyler over Hurts. Martin says, lost Tyreek. My best option is Dotson or Douglas. I'm going to go with Dotson. Chester says, Wilson or Smith. I'm going to go Wilson. Also, Hall, Mostert, or Pollard. I'm going to go with... Thank you. Appreciate you, my friend. Mostert, Pollard. It is going to be up to you now that A-Chan's good to go. Luke says, full BBR. My team's decimated with injuries. Need to start one receiver, one flex. Douglas, Godwin, JSN, Clyde Brazilier. Thank you. Looking for the most upside. Thank you. I'm going to be going with Godwin and JSN if the only thing that you care about is the most upside overall. Sir Barkley says, Mason Elton, need a receiver and a flex. Reed, Hollywood, Zay, Odell. We have McBride and Chuba as well. We're going to be going with Hollywood and Reed, my friend. Kendall says, Tyreek, Keenan, Olave out this week for me. Play Lockett or pick up Reed off the waiver wire. I'd probably go with Jaden Reed with no Watson. Now, Cali Kid says, full BBR, need one Green Bay receiver. I'm going to go Jaden Reed. John says, Brees or Zeke. I'm going to go Brees. Trevor says, Gibson or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We're going to go Gibson. Riley says, what's up, Mason? 8 seed. Have a chance to take the 1 seed. Full BBR, 2 receivers and a flex. Lost Olave. Should we roll with Hollywood or take a chance grabbing Shaheed or Zay Jones off the waiver wire? I would go with Hollywood over Shaheed and Zay Jones. If you really wanted to make that pivot, you can. I mean, brutal spot losing Olave, but with it being an 8-team league, the depth's easy to come by. 20 says, start one of the flex, Reed, James Cook, or Gibson. I'm going to go Gibson. Devontae, if you wanted to go Cook, you can. Honestly, up to you there. It's just a tough matchup for Cook. Devontae says, full BBR, McBride or Goddard. We're going to go McBride. B.P. Taylor says, full BBR, place Olave, Hollywood or Odell. Can pick up Zay or Shaheed. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to go with Hollywood over Odell, and then we're going to be going with Zay over Shaheed. If that's Flowers. If it's Jones, then go Shaheed. It's hard when y'all are just saying Zay. I'm getting mixed up. AW says, Locke or Mariota. Have Hurts and Geno. I would rather have Mariota if both guys are out. Caleb says, Swift or Henry. I'm going to go with Henry. And Shaheed or Flowers. We're going to go Flowers. Good luck, my friend. Jose says Shaheed or Foreman. I'm going to go with Shaheed. D Jr. says, who do we play? Godwin, Odell, McLaurin, JSN, and London. I will go Godwin, but I'm an idiot. Burner account says start Connor or Douglas. We're going to go Connor. David says start Ridley or Shaheed. We're going to go Ridley. And Waller or Schultz. I'm going to go Waller. Thomas says, are we trusting Tua or Love? I'm going to go Love. Flock up. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, my friend. Mr. Villy Webb says sit 1. Walker, Ford, Zay Jones. Full BBR. We're going to sit the wide receiver. Sit Zay Jones. Sam says, predict Cup stats. Best of luck, man. Right now, if you look at the underdog pick'em for Cooper Kupp, they are extremely aggressive with Kupp. Right now, this team is the second highest implied team total in the entire NFL. They currently have Kupp at 75.5 receiving yards, 6 receptions, more than less than. Puka's at 66.5 receiving yards, so I'd rather go with the higher than 66.5 receiving yards on Puka. If I was looking at Kupp, honestly, I'd probably... If I was making the pick'em lines for underdog, I probably would put him closer to 70 than 75. I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, of course, if you wanted to go through and check out any of those pick'ems over on Underdog, you can find that link in the description in the comment section. Promo code FLOCK, 100% deposit match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, a Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than half a total yard for tonight. And you can pair that up with my favorite pick'em of the week, Keaton Mitchell, less than 9.5 rushing attempts. He's never had 10 rushing attempts in his entire NFL career. At promo code FLOCK, link in the live chat, description, comment section. Now, next question coming out from, I believe, the Anal Source says, Waddle or Smith? We're going to go with Waddle. Devonta says, replacing Tyreek, do we go Douglas, Wilson, or Noah Brown? Ooh, probably Noah Brown, but hate it. Pitcher Raymond says, start 2, PBR, Swift, HN, Smith, Gibson, Walker, Ford. Thanks. Thank you. I'm going to be going with Gibson and Swift. Jay Alma says, a full PBR. We have Olave and Pacheco out. Pick 2. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Shaheed, Keaton, Brandon Cooks, or Noah Brown. I'm going to be going with Shaheed and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Also, pick 1 between Stafford, Lawrence, Love. Thanks for all you do. No, thank you so much. We'll go Stafford. Armada says, McKinnon or Clyde Edwards-Helaire, full PBR format. We're going to go McKinnon. Jeremy says, Devonta, Rice, or HN, full PBR format. We're going to be going with it's close. It's close. Probably HN now that you have the Hurts news. Now, Sam says, which defense to start? Miami, Saints, or Falcons? We're going to go with the Miami defense. Less excited about it with no Tyreek. Nico, Olave, Keenan out. Started Jamar and Rasheed. Running backs from Montgomery, Pollard. Double flex who to start. Cook, McBride, Jones, Taj Spears, the injuries. Brutal spot, my friend. I'm going to be going with Cook and Jones, though. Jacob says, no Tyreek, full PBR. Hunt, Edwards, or Charbonnet. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take... Oh my gosh, we're going to go guess it. I don't freaking know. I have no idea. No idea. Literally up to you. No idea. Matthew says, we have Olave, Tyreek. Do we play Shaheed or Demario Douglas? I'm going to go Shaheed, my friend. Kelly Cam says, touchdown only league. Pick 2. Zeke, Hall, or Connor. Thanks. Thank you. I'm going to go with Zeke and Hall. Kevin says, 9-5, full BBR. Love the content, sir. Pick 1 for the flex. McLaurin or McKinnon. I'm going to go with McLaurin over McKinnon. RG says, happy BR, Goddard, Waller, or McBride. We're going to go McBride. I agree. The matchup is scary, though. Now, Miller says, a full BBR, HN or Devonta Smith. Love the content. Thank you, my friend. Probably HN over Smith. Don't love it, but obviously both guys dealing with injuries with their own respective situations. Now, Mr. Billy Webb says, Fields or Stafford? I'm going to go ahead. I will take Stafford. Dante says, with Hurts questionable, do we start Hurts or pick up Carr DeVito? I'm going to go Hurts and then pick up pick up Mariota if he doesn't play. Dill says, Jason Goddard or McKinnon in the flex. I'll go JSN. Tyler says, do I drop McKinnon or Hubbard for a spot for Hurts? We're going to drop McKinnon. Blake says, Hurts or Justin Fields? We're going to go Fields. Tate says, full BBR, Kyler, Howell, or Love. I'm going to go Kyler in a 4-point passing touchdown format. Chase the rushing upside. Pick 2, HN, ETN, Zeke. We're going to go ETN, Zeke. Metcalf with no Reed. No, we're just going to go ETN, Zeke. And then defense, I think we're going to go with the Titans when Houston has absolutely nobody to throw to. Now, Cali Kid says, full BBR need 2. Lockett, Reed, and Shaheed. I'm going to go with Reed and Lockett. Shaheed is up to you. Maybe Lockett. I've been saying Shaheed. I think when you pivot to Lockett, just make sure you play Reed. Novak says Amari or Hubbard in the flex. Full BBR, give me Amari. Anything less, go Hubbard. Austin says full BBR, pick 1 receiver, Hollywood or Zay Jones. We're going to go Hollywood. Isaac says start 1, Noah Brown, DeMarcus Robinson, and Wick. I will go with either Noah Brown or Robinson, not going Wick. JW says 2 or Flacco. Smart people say Flacco. I would have a very hard time playing Flacco. Then Smith or Waddle, non-PBR. Thanks, Piston. Thank you, my friend. We will go with Waddle for sure, though. Now, Adam says, start 2, ETN, HN, Zeke, and Walker. I'm going to go with Zeke and ETN. Now, Tron Cena says PBR, McKinnon or Douglas, and then London or Curtis Samuel. I'm going to go with McKinnon and London. Austin says Reed or Ingram at the flex. I will go Jaden Reed over Evan Ingram, even though Ingram looks great. Obviously, tough matchup, though. Now, Steve, happy to see, says, who should we start as our 2 running backs, wide receiver 2, and a flex? Waddle, Mostert, Puka, Reed, Swift, Barkley, Connor. Love the videos, the offseason, in the playoffs, because thank you so much, my friend. Our running backs, we're going to be going with Mostert and Barkley. Our wide receiver, we will go with Waddle, and our flex, we will go with Puka. Now, Joe says, double flex PPR. We have Howell, Lawrence, ETN, White, Kyron, Mostert, Cup, Evans, Terry, Kelsey. Started Pittman, Keenan out. Should we put in Evans? 1.8 points. Rough. Worried about ETN. Okay. Put in Mike Evans over Terry McLaurin. ETN has a tough matchup, but you have to play ETN. But play Evans over McLaurin. Keezy says, DFS, Rams, Titans versus Wounded Texans, or Jets versus no Tyreek. So obviously with DFS, there's a lot of other things that you're considering. You're considering ownership. If you're going to be in a if you're going to be in a tournament style contest, like it's not as easy as just trying to figure out who you think is going to score the most points. So to be honest with you, I don't have a great answer for you. But I don't know if it's just like a regular fantasy football league. I'm not playing the Jets, I'll tell you that. I'd probably go Titans. Now, Sadiq says, with Geno likely out, start Locke, Ritter, Zach Wilson, Levis, or DeVito. We're down bad. I'll probably go Levis. Rick Rolls says start, and I did not know Geno was most likely out. That really hurts me in a league. Rick Rolls says start to London Ridley or Romeo Dobbs. I'm going to go London and Ridley. Joe says Cup or Waddle. I'm going to go Cup. One of one says Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Achane. Thanks. Thank you. I'm going to go Achane. Chris says we have to, should we pick up Levis or Carr? I'm going to go Levis. I literally have no interest in the slightest with Derek Carr. Derek Carr, you have no Olave. You have no Michael Thomas. Like, he's horrible. I have no interest in Carr. Joanne says Dynasty Superflex playoffs, Case Keenum or DeVito. Ooh, I'm going to go DeVito considering the fact that you have no Tank Dell and no Nico Collins. But Brian will be our next question. Let me refresh this so we can keep bringing them up. And let me answer this. Kevin says Beckham or Shaheed. I'm going to go with Shaheed over Odell, my friend. Don't feel super confident with it, though. Now, as I refresh this, like I said, Brian will be our next question. Just give me 1 second. And if you have not done so already, please, ladies and gentlemen, go down there, hit that like button. Today's day 234 of live streaming every single day in a row. And if you wanted to check out any of those pick'ems over on Underdog Fantasy, obviously the Saturday ones are no longer available, but you can check out all the Sunday ones. Promo code Flacco, 100% a positive match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. A Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than half a total yard. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, you can pair that up with my favorite pick'em of the week, which will be Keaton Mitchell for fewer than 9.5 rushing attempts. You can find that link in the description, comment section, live chat. You can find it everywhere. But let's swing this back around. Like I said, Brian was our next question. This is Mostert, Kyren, or ETN. I'm going to go ahead. I will take Kyren Williams as the top dog here. We'll go Kyren, then ETN number 2. Cal says non-BBR. We have Adams, Gibbs, Laporta. So I'm up versus Chase and Moss. Do we start Kyler or Geno? We bench Goff. We're going to go ahead. We are going to play Kyler, and especially if Geno is questionable for Monday night, my friend. Now, Wes says pick 4 full BBR. Cup, Puka, Waddle, ETN, Brees, Kyren, Gibson. Play Kyren, both Rams. We're going to go Kyren, ETN, Cup, and then Puka, Waddle, up to you. Puka, Waddle, up to you. Jose says full BBR pick 3. ETN, Kyren, Cook, DK, London, Ridley. Thank you. No, thank you. Kyren, ETN, must start guys here. Really comes down to Cook, DK, Metcalf, whatever you want there. I'm probably going to go Cook if Geno Smith actually looks like he's going to miss. Trust Lock says pick 2, Smith, Achane, Flowers. We're going to go with Achane and Smith. And then pick 1, Flacco, Geno, DeVito. If Geno plays, we're going to go Geno, but without knowing that, if I had to pick between Flacco and DeVito, I'm going to go Flacco. Travis says Achane or Walker. We're going to go Achane. Sam or Hurts, we're going to go Sam. Odell, Keaton, or Noah Brown, we're going to go Odell. 860 says Howell or Love. We're going to go Sam Howell. Two Genders says, should we start Smith over London with no Hill? No, please play Drake London. Mason says, with no Tyreek, Odell, Douglas, or Noah Brown. I'm going to go Odell. Jindy says, happy playoffs, Mason. Keaton or Chuba, PBR. We're going to go Chuba Hubbard, my friend. Sam says Shaheed or Zay Jones. We're going to be going with Shaheed. And then Chuba or Jaden. Who's Jaden? Oh, Jaden Waddle. We're going to go Waddle. Isaiah says, past EMT school, now off to Fire Academy. Let's go. Hell yes. Can everybody spam the chat for Isaiah here? Spam the chat. Congrats. Isaiah's been with us for years. Super good news. I'm really happy to hear that, my friend. Everybody, please spam the chat. Congrats. Congrats, Isaiah. Past the MT school, now off to Fire Academy. That is awesome. Hell yes. That is awesome, my friend. I'm happy for you. Now, DT Dub says, good morning, Flock. Start 2, full BBR. Reed, Wilson, London, and Amari. We're going to be going with Reed and Wilson. Actually, we're going to go Amari over Reed. O'Brien says, Olave out, pick up Shaheed or a streaky Ridley. I will go with Calvin Ridley, especially with no Kirk when he has more guaranteed targets. Robert says Swift or Zeke. We're going to go Zeke. Ricky says Jones or Zeke. Ooh, we're going to go Zeke. It's close. Matthew says Mostert or Hall. We're going to go Mostert. King Flores says Njoku or Kincaid need to win to make it into the playoffs. Very tough spot now that you have Dawson Knox good to go. I mean, Njoku's still in a bad offense overall. I have them ranked back to back. I probably go Kincaid, but if you want to go Njoku, not going to fault you. Sadiq says London or Ridley. We're going to go Ridley. Mel says, good morning, Guru. Gino Kyler. We're going to go with Kyler. Jalen Stafford, Kyler. We're going to go Stafford. And I have to go super fast with these questions. I'm sorry, we're not going to give any explanation. We're just going to go as fast as we can to get through all of them. Joseph says Jones or Gibson. We're going to go with Gibson. Zay Jones or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We're going to go, oh my gosh, Zay Jones, super close. Michael says Walker, Reed, or Ridley. Full BBR must win. Thanks. Thank you. I will go with Ridley, full BBR. Richard says start flex. Amari, Jones, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Singletary. We're going to go Aaron Jones. Paul says Tua or Fields today. Fields by a mile now. Also, Shaheed or Godwin. We're going to go Godwin, my friend. Griffin says full BBR, pick 1. Godwin, Thielen, or Amari. We're going to be going with Amari. Cruz says half BBR, pick 2. Flowers, Saquon, Odell, Reed. We're going to go Saquon and Flowers. Juan says pick 1, Achane, Smith, Ridley, McBride. Thank you. Thank you. We are going to go ahead. We're going to take Achane. Kyle says, what defense do we play? The Jets, Ravens, or Dallas? I think you can go the Jets over these options. Jordan says defense, Chiefs or Dolphins. We're going to go with the Chiefs. Half point BBR, pick 3. Connor, Devonta Smith, Hopkins, or Garrett Wilson. We're going to be going with the 3 receivers. Go Smith, Hopkins, and Wilson. Connor says Achane, Jones, or Swift, full PPR format. We're going to go Jones. Anthony says playoff football, start Hurts or Dak. We're going to go Dak. Anyone on the waiver wire, Gibson, Edwards, Foreman, or Spears instead of Jerome Ford or keep Ford. Go with Antonio Gibson over Jerome Ford. Now, Concealed OG says play Flacco, Baker, or risk going with Jalen Hurts. I would risk Hurts and then pick up Mariota just in case he doesn't go. Watson says McBride or Evan Ingram. I'm going to go McBride. Lenny says pick 2, Achane, Spears, Rice. If Hurts is out, Howell or Stafford. We're going to go Stafford, and then we're going to be going with Achane and Rice. Sir Barkley says Zay Jones, Chuba, or McBride for the flex. We're going to go Chuba. Rashad says Shaheed, no Olave, or Godwin, no Jer. Honestly, super tough spot. I think that you can go ahead and take either guy, and it really is up to you. I think it's really close. Vic says Evans over AJ Brown with Hurts now questionable. It's close. Yes, I think you can make that call if you really wanted to. I personally would just play AJ Brown, but I personally am an idiot. It's really close. Let me go ahead and refresh this so we can keep bringing these up. And as I do this, please, if you have not done so already, hit that like. And if you wanted to check out any of those pick'ems over on Underdog, promo code FLOCK, 100% deposit match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And promo code FLOCK will get you hooked up tonight with Lamar Jackson, more than less than half a total yard. And you can pair that up with my favorite pick'em of the week with Keaton Mitchell. Fewer than 9.5 carries when he has never hit 10 carries in a single game in his NFL career. But yeah, promo code FLOCK, link in the live chat. You can find it. Now, next question coming out from Davis says, full BBR, Olave out. Do we start JSN or pick up Shaheed? Well, I'd go Shaheed over JSN. Nick says 2 receivers, 1 flex. Kupp, Waddle, Hopkins, Zeke. I'm going to go with Kupp, Waddle, and Zeke. Trenton says pick 2, full BBR is Swift, Waddle, Hopkins. I'm going to be going with Waddle and Swift. AK Cash says Taysom or Njoku. We're going to go Njoku. Eric says risk Smith or start Gene Reed. I'm going to go Smith. Carlos says start 1, Etienne, Rasheed, or Zeke. We're going to go Etienne. Macklin says Mitchell, Foreman, or Spears. We're going to be going with Foreman. Lethal Jake says London or Godwin. We're going to go London. Heavy rain in Carolina. I mean, if you're really worried about the rain, you can pivot, but I'm never panicking on weather unless it's like a legitimate blizzard. Now, Matthew says, we lost Ramondre, JT, and now Tyreek. We have Warren, Odell, Keaton Mitchell in the lineup today. Fantasy gods have forsaken me. Oh my gosh, my friend. That sucks. I'm sorry. Brody says, Puka, Hall, Flowers, pick 2 at BBR. Need eye upside. Playing against Goff and Gibbs, who went off. I'm going to go with Puka and Hall. Puka and Hall. Isaac says, Godwin or Douglas. We're going to go Godwin. BB says, Waddle, Hopkins, Smith, full BBR. Hill out, so Waddle. Yes, go Jalen Waddle. Broadaman says, Jerome Ford or Shaheed. I'm going to go Jerome Ford. And then we can actually swing this around to our other screen. Yes, we can. Perfect. Bob's says, flex Cook or Rice, half PBR format. Probably Rice. David says, Laporta, Raiders defense, Jefferson Chandler. Already played for me sub 100. Hell yes. Need someone last minute for Olave to replace Samuel or Brandon Cooks. I'm going to go Brandon Cooks there, my friend. In says Aaron Jones or Chuba. Aaron on a snap count. I'm going to go Aaron Jones relatively easily now that you have no A.J. Dillon in this game, my friend. Matthew says Wicks, Douglas, or Wandale. I hope it's Wandale. In reality, you probably got to start Douglas here, though. Blake says 1 point per passing, rushing first down. Play DeVito Keenum or Zach Wilson over Jalen Hurts. Nope. Play Jalen Hurts and then pick up Mariota as a backup option. Mariota would be equivalent to those other guys anyway. Austin says, in my league, Olave's out. We have Thielen, Beckham, and Samuel. We're going to go Odell or Thielen. You can go Thielen if you really wanted to. Just don't play Curtis Samuel. Don't play Curtis Samuel there. Now, Joe Jack says, flex JSN, Keaton Mitchell, Gabe Davis, or Chuba Hubbard in a full PPR format. We're going to go ahead. We will take Chuba Hubbard there relatively easily, to be honest with you, my friend. Now, McLean says Foreman or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think we're going to go ahead. We're going to take CEH. Josh says ETN or HN non-PPR. We're going to go ETN. And then Ridley or James Cook in a full PPR format. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take James Cook. Solid Jenkins says pick 2, Wilson, Waddle, and Moore. I'm going to go with Waddle and Moore. Now, Frank says flex McKinnon or McBride, and quarterback is Stafford or Hurts. I'm going to go Stafford over Hurts, not rolling the dice there. And then I will go with McBride over McKinnon, even though the majority of the times I'd rather not flex a tight end. I don't know if we can get away from it there. Christian says Stafford or Hurts. Yeah, I'm not rolling the dice. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to take Stafford. I mean, this was the report that we got with Jalen Hurts. Eagles are downgrading quarterback Jalen Hurts, questionable for Monday night's game in Seattle after a sickness worsened overnight. Hurts is still harboring hopes of playing Monday night and is traveling to Seattle separately from the team as to try to not get anyone else sick. I read that. I'm not confident. Of course, that's all I know. I mean, it's not like I have any inside sources. I wish I did, but yeah, that is a spot where I would rather just play Stafford, who has the second highest implied team total in the NFL this week going up against Washington. Now, Ryan says Jason or Shaheed for the flex spot. I'm just going to go ahead. I will play Shaheed, my friend. And then I don't know what this is in reference to. Mason would say Gibson. I would say most likely I'd say Gibson. Yeah, Desire Best is Njoku or Gibson in the flex. Yes, we're going to go ahead. We will take Gibson. If you have Antonio Gibson, please make sure you are playing Antonio Gibson. Very similar to Ty Chandler yesterday. When you see one of those guys step into a true 3-down workhorse role that will have the receiving usage as well, you kind of just have to go through and you kind of just have to play him. I don't know. Now, Lethal Jake says PPR London or Godwin, heavy rain in Carolina. Let me look up how bad this weather is in Carolina. Panthers weather. Let's see this on Twitter. Okay, so this is how you actually know when the weather is going to make a difference. Like we said last week with the Ravens, Rams game, when we weren't panicking because we were just looking at Las Vegas implied team totals. That was the main thing we cared about. Here, this total has been plummeting due to the weather this week. Carolina's 9-0 to the under since December 2021 when they're not a 14-point dog, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but if you were looking at the total for that game, it is going down. So if you wanted to go Godwin over London, I think you can. Marty says, start 1, receiver 1, running back, HN, Lockett, Swift, and Hollywood. Wide receiver, we're going to go Hollywood. Running back, we're going to go Swift. Actually, you can go HN. I mean, HN, you're taking on risk, but you would be taking on risk with Swift at the same time. Now, Evan says, Gibson or Reed, full BBR. Gibson for sure. Waddle, Smith, or Zeke. Probably Zeke if you wanted to go Waddle. Not going to fall. You definitely go Waddle over Smith. Don't play Smith there. The Blue Menace says, start Kittle or Ingram. I'm going to go Kittle just based off how good that offense should be this week and how good the matchup is going up against the Cardinals. Now, Mike says 18 at BBR for the flex, sub Zeke for Jacobs for the flex. Do we start Flowers, Gibson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Kincaid? I'm going to go Antonio Gibson, my friend. Yeah, go Gibson over those other guys. He will have the 3-down workload and the receiving usage. Eric says Tua, Baker. We're going to go Baker over Tua. And then Wilson or Odell. I will go with Garrett Wilson over Odell. But it looks like we made it to kickoff. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this fine Sunday morning. I'm wishing you the best of luck. We are going to go McBride over Goddard, my friend. I really hope that y'all have a great Sunday. I'm going to wish y'all the best of luck. I'm going to wish my own teams the best of luck here. Let me just make sure in these high stakes drafts, I don't have Tyree. I mean, yeah, this is just such a tough spot. Brutal week here, ladies and gentlemen. But I hope you're able to crush it. I'm wishing you the best of luck. I appreciate you. Really hope that I get to see you out in the live streams this next week. If I don't, I will just know you didn't make it to the next round of the playoffs. But thank you so much for everything. And if y'all wanted to check out those pick'ems for later today, promo code FLOCK, link in the live chat, link in the description, link in the comment section. Get you a 100% deposit match, plus our rest of season fantasy football rankings and tiers. And on top of that, get you a Lamar Jackson special pick'em, more than less than half total yard going up against Jacksonville. And in that same game, you have my favorite underdog pick'em, which is going to be Keaton Mitchell for fewer than 9.5 rushing attempts against the Jags. And one last side note, this next week, we'll probably be posting a lot less on this channel. I'm going to be continuously posting less and less and less here until the season's over. Then I'm not going to be posting anything on this channel. And the only thing that I will be posting will be on the Dynasty channel. So if you want to follow us this offseason, you can find that on the Dynasty Football Flock YouTube channel. I'm not going to link it or anything. You can just search it on YouTube. I'm sure the majority of you already know about it. You find it there. That's what I'll be uploading in the offseason. But thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. I really do appreciate you and really hope you are able to crush it this week.